through citizen comments. You can register to speak on certain agenda items. You can do all these things. And if they don't have an issue with any of this and nobody's speaking out about it, then it will go forward. And folks like me who disagree, accept that. I totally if somebody doesn't agree with my opinion, number one, I want to hear why they don't agree with it, because it may help me change my mind. I'm an open mind. I like to think I am. And number two, you just move on to, okay, that's the way the city wants to go. We move on to the next issue. The council members sitting on that dais were chosen by the residents of Huber Heights. I would argue that there could be a better way of doing that, making them all at large. That would be one way. And I've discussed that before. All at large, yet having their own wards still. That's a possibility. And term limits. I've discussed that. That would be interesting to see on the ballot and to see how the city of Huber Heights would go. But I digress. I think council compensation is going to pass. I think it may pass 6-2, but I think it will pass. Maybe 7-1, but 6-2 is where I think it will go on the third reading when they pass that resolution. And that's fine. It's not a huge chunk of money. There have been some good arguments as to why council deserves a raise. I personally am on the side of those who disagree with the raise. I think council should be a service to the community, essentially. Of course, there has to be some type of a pay system to help them recoup some of the funds that they use while serving the community. I totally understand that. But then someone may bring up, well, should boards and commissions be compensated in a fair way? They put a lot of work into what they do. That may be an issue coming. I don't know. Is it a question in your mind? So there are a lot of good issues upcoming that I think we'll pay attention to here on this podcast. We're definitely going to pay attention to House Bill 178 because I am a Second Amendment guy. I'm also a limited government guy, so we're going to pay attention to the amended resolution 96R 1764 and see where the New Deal goes between the city and the schools. I'll pay attention to see when the city and the schools decide to meet. And we'll pay attention to the council compensation. Both issues were talked about for at least 45 minutes apiece on the last work session. We played all that. We'll pay attention to everything, and hopefully we'll see, one thing I think we all should agree on is that the Huber Heights City Council does discuss these issues for a while. They do discuss issues very detailed. They use a lot of time to go over these issues. And I think it's important to commend each and every member of that city council that your discussion helps everyone in the city realize where you're coming from, understand why you've come to the decision you have when you discuss things. If you do not discuss it out in the open, then it's less transparent, and the citizens have no idea why these decisions are being made. So I think that not only council, but the city manager and the staff and all of them deserve an attaboy, attagirl for discussing all these issues and bringing the detail that they do. Could it be better? Sure, it could be better. I always look at things about myself. Okay, I could have done better there. I could have done better there. Sure, it could be better, but it sure could be a lot worse, guys. It really could. So they do a good job discussing it. I hope what I heard from the work session when the mayor discussed the city manager report, I hope they're not trying to reel back the discussion. I hope they're... Ooh, that was thunder. It's starting to thunderstorm here. I hope they're not trying to reel back any type of transparent discussion that happens, because the citizens of Huber Heights deserve to know exactly where your representatives are coming from. Now, if you don't get involved and you don't discuss that with your representatives, you don't attend their meet and greets, you don't attend council meetings, if you don't write them in an email, then you don't have a leg to stand on when you complain about it on social media. So you have to be, if you're going to complain about it on social media, you really need to be involved in other ways as well. Okay. I know that's been said before, and we'll say it again. Get involved with city government. And I'll do my best on this podcast to help folks get a better understanding on it. I will. I'll do my best to help you understand what the charter says and how things are coming. I'll do my best to follow this stuff and to discuss it here on this podcast. But I hope they're not trying to reel back, because the mayor discussed nobody being able to bring up things during the city manager report. Well, we went through the charter and we saw that any council member, now that question could be asked, can any council member bring, the rules of council cannot go against what the charter says. So can any council member bring a piece of legislation in? It doesn't give a time. It doesn't say it has to be in the hands of clerk of council 30 days prior or 10 days prior or 24 hours prior or any of that. So I don't know. There's a lot of questions that I think will be answered in good time. There was a bunch of things on the agenda that they passed on Monday that you might want to go back and look at or listen to or watch. We will pay attention here on Truman's Town Hall. Thank you for listening. Thank you for downloading this episode. I'm going to enjoy this thunderstorm that we're having here. So there it is. Thanks again, guys. Talk to you later.
Thank you for listening to Truman's Town Hall. Share this podcast with your friends and neighbors and subscribe today.